Hi, I'm Brian Horton. I'm the Senior Art Director at Crystal Dynamics on Tomb Raider. We're trying to make the best Tomb Raider game we possibly can, and we want to make it relevant for the modern gamer. So we looked at Tomb Raider and said, well, people like Lara Croft, but she was losing her relevance in the marketplace. We wanted to make a more relatable, believable character and a more cinematically driven experience. And I think it's in line with the taste of a modern gamer for a third-person action adventure game. I think we call it the survival tone. So it's an action-adventure game with a survival tone, or a survival action game as we've branded it a little bit. I think it's an important distinction. We're not making a horror game, but there are going to be scary elements. Lara's going to experience pain. She's a mortal hero now. And I think that's a big differentiation factor from where we were on past Tomb Raider games. Well, if you remember from Tomb Raider 1, Lara died in a lot of horrible ways, and I'm a huge fan, and we're huge fans of the first Tomb Raider. So we're going to look at any time it makes sense in the situation to have Lara, show the potential terrible experience and result of these things. I'm not going to go into numbers at this point. There's going to be quite a few of them throughout the game.
Ballpark like 50 though?
We're not going to go into numbers. The idea is, though, as we pace out the entire game, that they're paced throughout so you can feel she's constantly on the edge of survival or not. So
is there one you've done and thought, oh, we've really pushed it quite far with that one?
Right now we're at that place where we're still pushing. So I don't think we found our ceiling yet.
Because in Resident Evil, which is, I guess, the comparison to doing those sort of dead stuff, you'll see people get their dead space as well. Their heads will get sliced off, they get smashed in two or crushed. Is that something you're willing to do to Lara Croft as a character?
At this point, we're just trying to make it contextually correct. In the situations you were talking about, we felt it was completely relevant to the situation that she could have been killed in that way. So in general, we just make sure it fits the situation. If it's gratuitous, then it's not right. So if it fits the situation, I think we can do some pretty nasty things in the future.
So you would slice her in two?
I didn't say that.
That's what I'm inferring. There was one line in dialogue in it where she says to, I think it's Rob, she says to him, "Don't die on me, you Yorkshire bastard."
Yeah.
That's quite an unusual way of phrasing it if you're English. So it's probably more of a writing sort of thing, but you wouldn't really say that, I don't think.
Well, the thing is, the scripts and everything you've seen so far in the demos from our vertical slice. So these aren't final examples of our game. They're showing the sort of trend in which way we're going. So I'm imagining we're going to see tweaks in all aspects of the game.
We wouldn't want to lose the key Yorkshire constituency of.
No, we don't. We surely don't.
I really like the big kind of reveal shot where she comes out into the light and sees all the kind of different shipwrecks from different areas. And I guess what popped into my head then was, you talked about mystery, that there's kind of a real Lost, like the TV show Lost, like flavour to it. Does that sort of imply there is going to be some sort of supernatural element to the game?
Part of the Tomb Raider is that sense of mystery. We're not going into a lot of details specifically about those deeper secrets. But at this point, just understand that there's a lot of story to uncover, and that the reveal at the island is definitely one of those keys to there's something strange going on.
Brilliant. Can you talk a bit about as well how the character changes as the game goes on? We saw the base camp section, how they were going to be, I don't know if upgrade is the right word, but like a sort of progression path for them.
Absolutely, and base camp is a big differentiation factor for us. Not only is it a place that she will be able to explore and use as base camp for hubs, that hub gameplay is sort of why base camp came all about. So it's a place that you'll be able to, when you explore a hub, you'll be able to gain salvage, come back to base camp, use that salvage to upgrade your gear. As she solves and progresses through the game, she'll be able to upgrade her own abilities, her survival skills, and ultimately, in the fast travel system, you'll be able to retraverse back to hubs that you've already been to, and that's going to just open up the gameplay to this non-linear exploration-based space.
What were the kind of touchstones for you in terms of the characters you were looking at that you wanted to feel similar to?
Well, first and foremost, we looked at Lara Croft. I mean, we really wanted to feel like Lara when you looked at her, but we were more influenced by characters in modern games that have more of a sensitivities and believability and groundedness. There's no particular game character I can think about, but we definitely looked at film. You mentioned The Descent. I think that was was a really key influence for us on a filmic level on these strong female characters that went through an arc, going from unsure of themselves all the way through to badass. And I think that was definitely a big inspiration.
Well, they get attacked by horrendous monsters as well. So is that something to be thinking about?
I didn't say anything about horrendous monsters.
That's a careful man.